This is Time Signatures with Jim Ervin, a podcast and radio program presented by the Capital Area Blues Society in Lansing, Michigan.
Driving up and down these Michigan roads, yeah.
And now, here he is, your host, Jim Ervin.
Baby, I'm home.
Well, thank you so much, Parker, and welcome to Time Signatures. I'm your host, Jim Ervin, and today we're pleased to bring you a gentleman who's responsible for providing folks with a high level of entertainment via the Meijer Gardens Amphitheater. Now, if you've traveled to the greater Grand Rapids area for a show, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This venue is absolutely top shelf. The Fifth Third Bank Summer Concert Series features the biggest names in entertainment that you're going to find anywhere. Now, I'm talking about the likes of Warren Haynes, Buddy Guy, Cmon, Bonnie Raitt, the Beach Boys, and so many more. And it's my pleasure to introduce one of those responsible for bringing us all this musical fun, Meijer Gardens Director of Communications, John VanderHaagen. Welcome to Time Signatures. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you very much for having me on today. I wish I was there in studio with you. Looks like a fun place to be, but I'm here in the office.
It is a lot of fun, let me tell you, but my work is right over here, my work computer. So, you know, I've got this nice little space.
I am very jealous. I love it.
I want to jump in here and go back to the beginning for you, at least, John. How long have you been in your current role as Director of Communications?
Yeah. So I've been here at Meijer Gardens for 10 years total, and in my current role for about 4. So I came from, I was doing some other concert production promotion work. I worked for the Grand Rapids Griffins here in town.
Very cool.
Kind of a nice mix of background before starting at the Gardens, 10 years ago now. Time flies. And then have been fortunate enough to be in my current role as Director of Communications for about 4 years now.
Very cool. Now, how long has this summertime concert series been going on?
Yeah, so in one form or another, we are in our 22nd year. You know, we lost a year to COVID, like all other live music venues, and we're just decimated that we couldn't bring live music to the community in 2020. We limped back in 2021, but the series overall has been going on about 22 years, and we are next year celebrating our 30th year as an organization here at Frederick Meijer Gardens and Sculpture Park. So music has been, and an enjoyment of the arts has been a part of our DNA almost since the beginning.
Very nice. Now, this program runs June through September, so attendees are going to get a nice taste of 3 of Michigan's 4 seasons, to be sure. And I can imagine those cooler evenings lends itself to a little more relaxing atmosphere, yeah?
Absolutely. So there's no better place to see a concert. I'm a little biased, but no better place to see a show in all of Michigan, especially in West Michigan, than outdoors under the stars here at Meijer Gardens. But really,
Indeed.
I love our late summer, early fall shows. It gets dark a little bit earlier. The production, the lights are a lot more vibrant for more of the show. And just to feel that cool summer breeze blowing through the air as you're surrounded by not only a world-class sculpture collection, but horticultural elements in a tiered lawn amphitheater. There truly is no better place to see a show in all of Michigan.
And I have to tell you, I am partial to Meijer Gardens Amphitheater, primarily because my first show was last year when we went to see Buddy Guy for his farewell tour.
Nice.
And I mean, being in that venue with thousands of like-minded individuals is an experience unto itself. You're not confined to chairs. You do have your lower level chairs if you want to sit. And you have rental chairs available for those that want to sit on the side. But it's so cool because you kind of get a chance to mingle with the other fans and talk to them, and it's very much kind of like a family gathering type of thing.
Oh, absolutely. You know, that's one of the things also we really pride ourselves on is that it's a gathering. It's like-minded individuals.
Yes.
It's a community of folks who love music, and really a great place. Like you mentioned, if folks want to sit on a blanket, spread out a little bit, bring food from home, have a picnic while enjoying this world-class music, that's an option. We allow low-rise beach chairs if you want to have an official chair. We do have rental chairs. You can wander around and see the show from house left, house right, in the middle. So it's really, again, you're not confined to a seat. A lot of venues are great for that. That's just not us, and it really allows people, should they choose, to stand up, dance, enjoy the music a little bit more, and a little bit more freer of an atmosphere than kind of a stuffy concert hall.
Much agreed. And I have to tell you, I love that you offer such a diverse variety of music to your attendees. I've seen, a bit of the blues, some classic rock, a smattering of the oldies, and even some classical stuff. I mean, I really enjoyed Warren Haynes with the orchestra. That was an incredible experience, but it's all to be enjoyed from your beautiful outdoor amphitheater with the terrace lawn seating. I want to talk about that mix that you guys always seem to bring to the fans, John.
Yeah, yeah. So that's, one thing when we're kind of developing the series, which has become an ongoing year-round process now. We used to kind of focus on that in the late winter, have everything buttoned up for a spring announce, and then summer was go, go, go with shows. But with kind of how the changes in the music touring industry have happened, a lot of bands still crawling back from COVID, really wanting to get out on the road. That's become more of a year-round process. We're already kind of looking at acts for next season, trying to get on their calendar, talking through with their booking agents, making sure that our available dates are being looked at with their available dates. But we always want to have, it's a little bit cliche to say, but we really do pride ourselves in having something for every music lover. You mentioned our partnership with the Grand Rapids Symphony, wonderful neighbors of ours just down the street in downtown Grand Rapids. They've joined us for a handful of shows each summer the last couple of years. That's been great to see, not only the symphony themselves, but them with a major touring artist. So, if you're
Indeed.
familiar with the music of Warren Haynes or Government Mule, for example, hearing that with the symphony, it's just otherworldly. And to hear kind of how they put those spins on, whether that's them joining a group like Black Violin or joining, Warren Haynes himself, it's just a great way, again, to expose maybe some people who are jam band followers or blues followers to classical music and really kind of meld those worlds. So that's one thing we try to do. We also try to provide a great stage for up and coming artists, but also those classic groups that people love to see. We just had Kansas was a great show. So again, we try to have a mix in our series of about 10 shows that are new to us. We've never produced before. We've never put on. About 10 kind of returning favorites. It's become kind of a running joke that the Beach Boys or Lyle Lovett have become our house band. But we do that because there's such a response from our audience, right? These tickets go up. They're sold out oftentimes within 3 to 5 minutes of them going on sale. So we know that there's kind of a hunger for some of these bands. And then another kind of 10 shows to round out our series with maybe combinations of bands that we have had but have never played with another artist. So for example, tonight we've got Blues Travelers, but they're joined by Big Head Todd and the Monsters. So we've had Blues Traveler several times, never had Big Head Todd. So kind of seeing them together on the same stage the same night is a great way to provide kind of a great double bill for our members and community.
John, your site boasts that you offer a variety of delicious, locally sourced food, alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages, and performer merchandise. It's all available at the Eileen DeVries Concession Center. And may I add that it's reasonably priced too. I mean, you guys have some really nice offerings. Talk about that.
Yeah, it's great. We've got a wonderful team here. We call them the Culinary Arts and Events team, who does all of our catering for weddings and large corporate events, but also for concerts. So we don't want to just provide the popcorn and hot dogs that every other stadium or amphitheater provides for, $20 each or whatever. So we do want to have affordable offerings. We also, I don't want to say that we don't have popcorn and hot dogs. We offer that too, but also for example, a curried smokehouse chicken wrap. That you're not going to get anywhere else, and local beers and mixed drinks. So really trying to provide something for people who do want to have food offerings and drinks available here. But another thing that kind of makes us unique is that we welcome people to bring, whether that's a picnic from home, grab some local takeout on your way to the show. We welcome that. So we're one of the very few venues left around these days where you're allowed to bring in outside food. Really, our only regulations there are no glass. We don't want anything broken and a barefooted fan to step on something, and no outside alcohol. And that's to protect our liquor license. That's pretty common. But otherwise, our fans are welcome to bring anything in, or we have great options here, as you mentioned, in the Eileen DeVries Concession Center.
And how about the chilled picnic for two that you guys started offering? Now, to me, that has all the makings of a romantic evening under the stars, you know. I mean, it's just me, but
Exactly. No, we take the work out of our guests' fans and take that on ourselves and have that. That's something we've piloted this year. We're starting with just a very limited. We offer 25 of those per show, and that's been going great. So again, a very unique menu of a chilled pre-made picnic for two. You order it in advance. You give us about a week's notice, and then it's here. There's a dedicated line to go pick that up, and it couldn't be
nice.
easier for folks to enjoy, whether that's a charcuterie board, some nice Middle Eastern options, and that will be rotating as we kind of hear feedback from guests, hear what they want to have offered. We hope to expand on that next year. But yeah, just one of the many ways that we want to provide great food, great entertainment at a great value to our guests.
Now, speaking of the stars, what time do your concerts normally kick off and end by?
Yeah, so it really varies. So some nights, if we have, three headlining acts, which we've done, we do that pretty often, where we do what's called kind of a co-headlining bill. We'll start a little bit earlier. A lot of it depends on the day of the week. If we're able to have a show on a Saturday or Sunday, we can start a little bit earlier. So that varies. Often we try to start between 6 and 7, because we're also unique in that our physical location is within a neighborhood here in Grand Rapids. So we are respectful of our neighbors and want to make sure that our shows are done at the very latest by 9:45 p.m. so that traffic can
Nice.
filter out. And it's, as I get older, it's harder and harder to go out and be home at midnight, especially on a work night, a school night.
Yes.
So the great thing about a concert here, if you're local or if you're driving back and forth from Lansing, you're out of the parking lot relatively easily. You're home within an hour if you're driving to Lansing, or if you're
Yep.
here locally, you can be home in 10 minutes. So one of the beauties of being a smaller amphitheater too, we only have 1,900 seats. So that means parking is a breeze. I love Pine Knob. I've seen probably hundreds of shows over at Pine Knob, but you're probably sitting in the parking lot as long as the show waiting to get out. We don't have any of those difficulties here. Easy breezy, right off the East Belt
Right.
line, in and out. And our shows do end a little bit earlier. So another great benefit, you're home at a reasonable hour and ready to take on the next day.
Sure. John, talk about the average cost per ticket. Now, I know your tickets fluctuate depending on the level of the artist that happens to be there, and of course, the amount of people that are the amount of headliners. But talk about that a
Yeah.
little bit, from low to high.
Yeah. So this year, we had concerts in the high $40. Our top end ticket was Boys to Men this year, who's on kind of a retro trip right now. That was $120. We weren't sure how that would be received, but that was actually one of the first 3 shows that sold out for us, again,
Wow.
within 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
we are very much in line with industry averages. We're
Yes.
about $67 for our average ticket price this year. Depending on if you're a member. Members of Meijer Gardens save. They have the early opportunity to buy tickets before the general public, save a little bit of money on each ticket. But you probably know, as being a live music lover, costs have really gotten out of hand with live performances, especially arena shows. It's really hard to find a great act under $100 anymore.
Yes.
And we have very few shows in our lineup. Again, this year we have 33 concerts. Only 2 of those are at that $100 mark. Otherwise, we try to be, at industry standards or slightly below, knowing that we provide a great value. So oftentimes, fans might see a same band in Interlaken a day or 2 before or after us that's a little bit cheaper. They have a lot more tickets to sell. Again, one of the many benefits of shows here at Meijer Gardens, small amphitheater, 1,900 seats. You're welcome to bring in your own food. So really free parking, free on-site parking. So really the overall value of the night is great when you take all things into consideration.
Yes, absolutely. And for those that are wanting to get more information on the 2025 lineup, when can our viewers expect for the news to break for the coming season?
That's a great question. So, we talked a little bit off air of wanting to make sure your audience has an early sneak peek. We tend to release our schedule in early to mid-April, just depending on when all the puzzle pieces come together, when we have that 30 to 35 show lineup locked in, with tickets going on sale towards the end of April each year. And then we have our week-long kind of pre-sale for our members, and then anything that's still available goes on sale to the public right after that, end of April, early May.
So while you're talking about members, how does one become a member of the Meijer Gardens?
Yeah, so a couple different ways. A lot of people, if they just want to be easy peasy, go do it all on the website without talking to anybody. MeijerGardens.org/membership. That's a great way to kind of read all the member benefits. You can sign up right there. Otherwise, if folks want to come, give us a try, wander the gardens, see the sculpture park, and then decide after the visit to become a member, we'll apply that day's general admission fee to a membership. Memberships has many different levels. So we have family memberships, individual memberships, grandparent levels, corporate levels. So a wide variety of those. But if folks want to learn more about membership at Meijer Gardens, early access to discounted concert tickets is just one of the many great benefits. We have parties for our members throughout the year, discounts on other special events, discounts in the gift shop. So really a great way to kind of stay connected with the arts. MeijerGardens.org/membership. Otherwise, stop by our front desk when you're here for a visit or give us a call. Phone numbers on the website as well. Our great membership team would be happy to talk through all the great benefits and get your listeners signed up.
Very cool. Now, how about the other offerings? You've talked about the botanical gardens and different things that you offered there. I mean, as the name implies, I'm assuming that you have some additional things that people can come and do before a concert, yes?
Absolutely. So we are 158 acres of an oasis of beautiful gardens, a permanent sculpture collection that rivals art history books. Like I mentioned earlier, we're coming up on our 30th years of an organization, so relatively young in the cultural space, but have a lot to offer. So you don't have to be a gardener to appreciate what we have. You don't have to be an art lover or art historian to appreciate what we have. It's a beautiful place, a great place to scratch your curiosity on art and horticulture. We have a wonderful children's garden, one of the country's largest and most interactive children's gardens. So if your kids want to come run around and burn off some energy, a great space there. A beautiful 8-acre Japanese garden, the Richard and Helen DeVos Japanese Garden, opened about 10 years ago. And that's a space that's really coming into its own as well. Just a gorgeous space. We have a garden that's reminiscent of a 1920s Michigan farm called Michigan's Farm Garden. So just truly unique areas throughout the grounds. And everywhere you look, there's a beautiful piece of sculpture kind of nestled within its own outdoor gallery that's been created hand in hand with our horticulture team. So some unique things that are part of just our everyday offerings, but then we also have annual exhibitions. We have the nation's largest temporary tropical butterfly exhibition every March and April, where you'll have about 7,000 tropical butterflies flying all around you in our Lena Meyer Tropical Conservatory. Truly magical. There's nothing, it's hard to describe just in words because you walk into this, March in Michigan can be cold, it can be gray. You walk into this tropical conservatory where it's warm, it's humid. These species from around the world are flying around. It's truly magical. So that happens every spring. Every fall, we're just now preparing for our mums at Meijer Gardens. So the grounds will have exploded with chrysanthemums and pumpkins and gourds. And we have some nighttime programming on Tuesday evenings for that. And then around the holidays, we have what's called the University of Michigan Health West Christmas and Holiday Traditions. So about 40 to 45 countries from around the world, their traditions around the holidays are represented, lights everywhere. And then this year, we're unveiling for the first time a winter light show called Enlighten. So there will be a mile-long track around the gardens and sculpture park with lighting and music and merriment. And again, just kind of truly unique to us, but a great way to get out, explore, and see some culture right here in West Michigan.
Now, John, I wanted to ask you, are the grounds available for other things like weddings, receptions, reunions, etc.?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we have a wide variety of things that we do here kind of after we close to the public. So I always joke that at 5:01 p.m. when we close, we become a completely a whole nother venue, right? So we have weddings in the summer. There could be 6 or 7 different weddings happening all around our grounds, and receptions and corporate dinners and birthday parties. Celebrations of life have become a more popular thing happening here too. So a lot of people are having their, not necessarily the funeral itself, but a gathering of family and friends after a loved one has passed. So we do a little bit of everything. We do it really well. The culinary arts and events team provides provides wonderful food and hospitality. We have an education team that offers classes. We have things happening all throughout the year. So MeijerGardens.org/calendar is a great place to land to see what we have coming up, not only today on a potential visit, but this month, the rest of the year. But yeah, we do a wide variety of things. We are open to the public late on Tuesday nights. So we're open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Tuesdays. Other days of the week, we open at 9 a.m., we close at 5 p.m. And then on Sundays, we open at 11 a.m. and close at 5 p.m. So that's kind of our normal hours of operations, with always special events, classes, camps, things like that happening after we close to the public at 5.
Man, it sure sounds like there's a lot of really fun stuff to discover and enjoy at Meijer Gardens, John. Let's put the website out there. Where can they get more information on everything that your venue has to offer?
Yeah, thank you for that. So Meijer Gardens, MEIJERGARDENS.org. That's a great landing page. From there, you'll find every link to information you could ever want. You can also search in the upper right-hand corner of the website. There's a search bar. If your listeners are most specifically interested in concerts, MeijerGardens.org/concerts is the direct link to go to see what shows we still have up on our calendar, what shows are still available. And I'd also, we didn't talk about it, but every Tuesday night in the summer, in June, July, and August, we have what's called the Ayers Basement System Tuesday Evening Music Club. So that features local and regional musicians, though that's included in a ticket or free for our members. Also in the Meijer Gardens Amphitheater, so that the same place where you're seeing these worldwide touring artists, top of their game. It's also a place that we kind of have welcomed some up and coming bands locally and regionally to play and entertain our fans as well. So every Tuesday in June, July, and August, that happens on the stage as well.
Well, John VanderHaagen, it has been a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for taking time today to talk to us on Time Signature, sir.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, and I look forward to talking again this coming spring.
Yes, you can count on that. And that wraps up this edition of Time Signatures. Once again, my thanks to Meijer Gardens Director of Communications, John VanderHaagen, but also to you, our viewers, our followers, and our subscribers. For without you, none of this would be possible. Jim Ervin reminding you that keeping the blues alive is everyone's responsibility, but preserving the history of the blues, one story at a time, is my mission. Until next time, so long, everyone.
This has been Time Signatures with Jim Ervin, presented by the Capital Area Blues Society in Lansing, Michigan. For more information on cabs, visit capitalareablues.org. You can find this episode and past episodes at lccconnect.org. The Time Signatures theme song, Michigan Roads, is used by permission and was written by Root Doctor, featuring Freddie Cunningham.
I'm trying, baby, driving up and down Michigan roads, yeah.
Until next time, keep on keeping the blues alive.